What's going on YouTube? It is Reaples, back in another video. In today's video, we have a Chelsea news video. I'm still not at my old setup, so I kind of just have the FM video I have up in the background, just for y'all's entertainment, because I know it's pretty boring to just watch comps in the background, because I don't really have my editing software or anything like that right now, so yeah, still in the slums, but you get some of my gaming content, I guess, in the background for today. But yeah, we have a Chelsea news video. There was a ton that kicked off today, especially with Mike Maignan. So to begin, this happened earlier this morning, for me at least. Fabrizio Romano says that he had an important call just now that Chelsea and Inter Milan, or not Inter, AC Milan keep talking in these minutes. There's no agreement yet, but the fact they're still talking is a positive light, or positive sign for a green light. Let's see. Um, yeah, I thought that kind of meant that the deal was going to happen today. I thought it could be wrapped up. I feel like it definitely had the potential to be wrapped up, but it just didn't really pan out that way. A little worried going into tomorrow. I know it closes at 1 p.m. my time, but for the UK it's around 7 p.m. Um, but yeah, I'm hoping that the deal gets done for Magnan, because he is a quality keeper. He's a world class keeper, and I think he elevates the ceiling of this team by a lot. I think he's 10 times better than Robert Sanchez is, even though Robert Sanchez had a pretty good end to the season. I'd like to see Mignon versus Petrovic, but in terms of statistics, I see that Mignon's a lot better with the ball at his feet, and Maresca demands that out of his keeper a lot. Um, so yeah, I think Mignon's the best like overall keeper for this Chelsea project to continue. Um, so yeah, and that is the mission for Chelsea, according to Fabrizio Romano, who is going to come up a lot today. Chelsea's mission is to get Mignon on the plane for the Club World Cup. Both clubs are still talking right now, and Mignon's personal terms are ready to be agreed. He wants to play UCL and the Club World Cup, and is really pushing. He basically gave an ultimatum to AC Milan, saying that if you don't sell me to Chelsea, I'm leaving for free in like getting a pre-agreement in 6 months. So that really put us in a powerful spot, in my opinion. I think that makes uh, AC Milan like 10 times more inclined to sell, because they know if this deal doesn't get agreed, then they're not getting any money from him. I know they're going to drag it out to the end, but I do think the deal just gets agreed. Whatever our last bid will be is what they will accept, because they do need the money. Um, so yeah, and that is again what Fabrizio said. It's just going to be a lot of Fabrizio to begin with. He said that Chelsea and AC Milan are discussing the possible add-ons in the Maignan deal, trying to figure out if there is a way that they can agree on the structure. And as you can see, I commented that I thought at that time that we could definitely find that out before tomorrow, and I would have liked to get the deal done today so we could have focused on getting this tomorrow. Um, which I still stood by. I thought we should have really just tried to find a way to wrap this deal up. Um, but that just wasn't necessarily the case. We weren't able to get it over the line, which is a little disappointing, but it seems that it is trending in the right direction for Mike Mignon, who, if we show here again, after these, these were the initial talks of the day, that we stayed at 12.6 million pounds today due to Mignon's desire to wear blue, which is him pushing, but AC Milan does not accept, which means we had to raise our offer, and the talks are going to continue into the night. So this was the initial 15 million euro, pound or 15 million euros that we had on the table, for them to accept. AC Milan did not accept that, and that got followed up with um, Di Marzio saying that we bid 18 million pounds for Magnan, which that's a lot of money. For Magnan compared to 12.6 million, we upped it by about 5.5. So that's what I that was my opinion on it right away. I said that should be that. Then there's no way 18 million pounds isn't accepted. However, if we go to an hour and 29 minutes ago, or 2 hours ago, sorry, Sam Simon Johnson, for Simon Johnson Sport, said that Chelsea are not too confident of agreeing a fee for Mike Mignon as things stand. And then this was backed up not too long ago by Daniel Longo. And he said that sources close to AC Milan now say they want more than 18 million that Chelsea 18 million pounds that Chelsea bid, and that the contacts will continue tomorrow morning. Um, I don't know how I feel about this. I know most of this video is going to be about Mike Maignan, but that was definitely Chelsea's focus today. They definitely wanted to get it done, a done deal today, and I still think it gets done tomorrow. Because I think that tomorrow morning there is just going to be a fee agreed before the deadline. I think it'll be. I think we'll pay the 2 extra million. I think we'll just get up to 20 million pounds. I still think that's a bargain for a player of Mignon's quality. We did bid up to 18, which I think is a complete bargain. I think 20 is really really cheap for a player of that quality. I mean, I believe he is a world class keeper, and I think he walks in right away and becomes a top three goalkeeper in the Prem. Um, I think you could have the argument with Raya. I think Allison's the clear cut number one, and I think Mignon and Raya are one and two. Um, Vicario's up there, but he's not really that confident. So yeah, I think Mignon. I know he isn't the best in terms of claiming crosses, but he's such a world class shot stopper as well as a world class keeper with the ball at his feet that I think it's such a good deal if we get this across the line. So I think 18 million pounds is a fair enough offer, and I think AC Milan would accept that if we just let it drag out because obviously the ultimatum was in place, and I think that's a very fair deal for both sides. But yeah, I would love Magnan to come through the door. Y'all already know my opinion on him. I think one of the best goalkeepers in the world, someone that I wanted for a while. I've wanted him since uh, we made the Champions League quarterfinal with Dortmund. Um, yeah, I've wanted him for a while. He's been one of my favorite keepers in the world, and he still is my favorite keeper in the world. So if I was a Chelsea owner, I'd just put the 25 million on the table right away once they set that price, because I wouldn't even care. He's my favorite keeper in the world. So yeah, I'm always going to advocate for Magnan to come through the door. I think a lot of people will, just because he's a player of that quality, he's a player with that leadership, and finally some experience through the door. And experience doesn't have to come with age. I know he's 30 or 29, going on 30, so he's definitely an older player, but I don't necessarily think that age defines experience. I think if like a Rodrigo came through the door, or a Rafa Leao, who are 25 and 24, so still young players, still in that under 25 mold that Chelsea like, I would say that their experience and their that they have the potential to be leaders just because of what they have on their CV. They have a great resume, they have the experience, but Mignon has the age as well. He has the CV. He won the Scudetto with AC Milan his first season. Also won Liga with Lille. Broke the PSG streak. Um, yeah, so I think he has a lot in his CV, and I think he's proved he's a world class keeper for some time. So I would love for him to come through the door. Um, so yeah, speaking of keepers, we had a really sad outgoing today. Um, I know this has probably gone on for a while. Um, yeah, but we have our third keeper, Mr. Colt Hero, the only one that was keeping us away from Mendem FC, Marcus Bettinelli. Uh, he's going to Manchester City. It's a here we go. Scott Carson left, if I can find. And also another thing on uh, Mike Mignon. Fabrizio still has his pins, so I do think the deal gets done, because usually when he pins this stuff, as well as it being an exclusive, he's trying to take credit for introducing the saga to everyone, saying that it was an exclusive saga that he broke, and then he's going to wrap it up with the here we go and saying that uh, he started the reports on Mike Mignon to Chelsea. So yeah, I think him having this pin shows that it's probably going to go over the line, and I think he becomes a Chelsea player tomorrow. Um, but yeah, here we go. Mark Spinelli leaves Chelsea and joins Manchester City as a new third goalkeeper. Green light also from the player who traveled to the FIFA Club World Cup. Here we go. Um, I don't think there's any fee to it, to be honest, but what I understood was that he wanted to learn from Pep Guardiola in coaching, so that's one of the main reasons why. And there's also this. Negotiations are still underway for Mike Mignon club to club with Chelsea on it once the deadline. So I think he understood that it's probably going to go to the morning. But on Bettinelli, if I can find the report about Mr. Scott Carson from earlier today. But as I say that, I did just say that, yeah, Marcus Bettinelli, the reason for leaving, he wants to become a coach, so he wanted to learn coaching from Pep Guardiola, which I think is completely fair. Um, I mean, don't want to really learn it from an inexperienced manager in Maresca. I would have loved to keep him around. But yeah, here we go. Scott Carson has left Manchester City upon the expiry of his contract after 6 years with the club. He was their third goalkeeper. Um, Bettinelli leaves us to become their third goalkeeper to learn from Pep after Scott Carson leaves. Um, but moving on to actual Chelsea targets, we have Jamie Gittins, who is a priority for the is Chelsea's priority for the Club World Cup, but Alejandro Garnacho remains a player appreciated by Chelsea. um, as you can see, my reaction, I want Jamie Bino Gittins to come in the door by tomorrow. I think he could be our starting left winger for next season. But then also, why is Garnacho's name still there? Yeah, I don't think anyone's really a fan of Alejandro Garnacho coming through the door. Manchester United are still admitting 60 million, but I don't really care about him. Jamie Bino Gittins. I'm glad that he's our priority. I think he's a really good player, and I think he's someone that, uh, if he comes through the door, starts right away at the Club World Cup. Because if we look at our winger situation, um, we only have three for the Club World Cup group stages. We have Pedro Neto, Nani Madueke, and Tyree George. Um, so yeah, I think we definitely need another name to come through the door. And that's why I'm thinking there's going to be an important bid for Jamie Bino Gittins to come through the door by tomorrow. I understand Dortmund are going to hardball a little bit, but I think we desperately need another winger, or else we're playing Pies on the wing. Esteval doesn't come in yet. So Pies can play on the wing, or Pies can knock Palmer out to the right. Um, but yeah, that's what CFC Daily says too. But I don't think Palmer should be a touchline winger. You could have Malagusto on the wing. That's a shout. Um, but yeah, we only have three wingers right now. And it's only three matches. The window opens up early closes tomorrow, sorry, and then it opens up back on the 16th. So I think that we could definitely bring in a winger for the knockout stages. Our first game would be against Benfica, and then it would be PSG, Real Madrid, and then City or Bayern Munich if we were to make it to the final. Um, but I do think we need another winger. And speaking of a potential winger, actually, there were reports that they could see this player playing on the left wing. They could see them playing at striker. Hugo Ekitike, which is the last thing I'm going to talk about. Florian Plettenberg says that there's no agreement yet between Hugo Ekitike and Chelsea. Eintracht Frankfurt have also not received an official offer. A participation in the Club World Cup is currently ruled out. Unclear how things will progress with Chelsea. A deal in the next transfer window is possible, but Liverpool remain in the race and have also held concrete talks with the players' camp, as Nunez, Jota, and Chiesa are all candidates to leave. So I think this is going to be a saga that goes on um, late into the transfer window, because I think Liverpool are going to be in there, especially if Nunez leaves. So I think Frankfurt could even just stay at that 100 million euros, and both clubs are going to have to meet it, and then it's going to be down to Ikatike to choose. But I think if it is 100 million euros, that Chelsea are just going to pull out of the negotiations. I think they're happy enough with Delap, and I think they're happy enough to keep Jackson. I think Delap would be the starter, and then Jackson the second string striker, but I think they could rotate dependent on low block, transition, what type of team we're going against. Uh, but yeah, that is the news roundup. I know there was a lot. Um, I do really want to see Mignon come through the door, and if there's a here we go tomorrow, I do have a little special something planned for y'all, with a special someone that I'm going to collab with, especially if the Mignon deal goes through the door. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please be sure to like and subscribe. My Patreon is down in the description. If you want to become a member, you can talk with me all things Chelsea, and I'll be sure if you ever want to collab on a video or just hear my input on a certain scenario, I will be sure to respond about that. So yeah, my Patreon is down in the description. My FN saves from certain games are going to be there as well. If you want to pick up where I left off. But yeah, that is pretty much all. Um, so yeah, I do hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider becoming a member to the Patreon. And go liking or go following to my Twitter. Uh, where if you click on or if you go to my Patreon page, you can see my YouTube and Twitter both here. Twitter, Resca's Era right here. You saw it a lot in this video. So yeah, that is all. Again, please consider becoming a member to the Patreon. It would mean a lot. As you can see, I just set this up, but we have only the lap news in there. But yeah, please consider this. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And it is Repulse, and I'm out. Peace.